I think the most rewarding part of my job is that I get to go to work every day, and I work with students who have the most complex bodies and the most complex communication needs, and they are just amazing. Hi, my name is Karin Majewski, and I'm going to talk a little bit about leaving the teachers union and my experience doing that. So I am a special education teacher. I've been teaching for 9 years now. I live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I am a mom and a wife. I have two young boys who are wonderful. And I have been teaching in a variety of special education populations over the years, and have really enjoyed and learned a lot about teaching, and am very happy with my career. And I joined the union just like a lot of other teachers did right in the beginning. I was approached by a veteran teacher who came into my classroom and told me that, hey, listen, you're new here, you're a new teacher, and this is what teachers do. They join the union. And at the time, I was just trying to keep my head above water. I was stressed out and nervous about doing a good job. I, was fresh out of college. So when that person came in, I didn't know anything about the union. And the teacher just told me, hey, this is what you need to do. The union protects you, and you need to sign up. And right then and there, I signed up on the spot. And I didn't ask any questions. I didn't know to ask any questions, honestly. And I signed up, and it seemed like it was a good decision at the time because they were going to protect me and they were going to bargain for my teacher's contract. And those are all positive things that you want to hear. And I thought that I was doing the right thing. So the first red flag for me was when PSEA put out a legislative position that supported mandatory proof of vaccinations for employees to be able to enter the building, to be able to come to work. And that was really alarming to me. And that was the first red flag that I thought, nobody even asked me about that. Nobody wanted my opinion how I felt about that. And that was not okay with me. The second red flag and kind of last straw was when the NEA came out with a large statement, big stance on critical race theory, CRT. And the statement that they came out with was that they had all intentions, they want to push critical race theory through all public schools across the entire nation. For a while, I felt very hopeless, like, oh man, this is horrible. I'm a part of this and I don't want to be. So I came to the realization that, the only thing that I can ever control is really myself and what I'm doing. I can't control what they're going to do. So I realized that what I can control is where my money goes and what my money is funding. And that was empowering to me. And I thought, I don't have to do this. My money doesn't have to go to these things. And I really need to look into this because I was disgusted with where it was at. So I was put in contact with the Freedom Foundation, which is a national organization, a nonprofit organization that I was able to reach out to and speak to the outreach director for Pennsylvania, who was absolutely amazing. He was patient, answered all of my questions. I had lots of concerns, lots of questions, and he just took the time to make me feel comfortable, answer my questions, and really reassure that I was going in the right direction. And any kind of liability questions I had, any kind of thoughts that I had about being discriminated against, and what that process looked like to opt out, like how serious was it, how big was it. So I asked Freedom Foundation, I said, why can't I just send my own letter? I could just write a letter, and teachers do that. They write their own letter, and they do it on their own. But oftentimes, oftentimes teachers will get responses from the union, or the union will lose their letter, or the union will say they never got it, and they'll contact them and try to talk them out of it. And it's kind of like a bad breakup. And there's some denial on the union's part, and they will drag their feet because they don't want people to leave the union, because then they lose money. So since I've been out of the union, I do have extra money in my paycheck, which is a huge impact for us financially. So I'm able to put more money into basically my children. My son has braces, so I'm able to make more payments towards the bills and childcare, and we just have more money basically to do fun things as a family and pay the bills and just live more comfortably. A lot of times teachers will say to me, okay, so I'm out of the union, now what? Now I'm out and I'm happy, but I'm still an educator in the public school system, and I still need, to be protected. You need teachers' insurance, basically. What am I supposed to do? And that's really where KETA came into play for me. KETA is stands for the Keystone Teachers Association, and they are a independent, nonpartisan teachers association. They are only in Pennsylvania, so they know what's going on in Pennsylvania. They're not a national organization that that has to deal with all kinds of other states and things going on. They're there for teachers, and that's it. So they have no other agenda. They're not trying to push political affiliations. They're not trying to tell you how to vote. They're not trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your mask or your vaccination or anything like that. They're just there to support you as an educator. Oftentimes when I talk to teachers, one of the major things that everyone says is that they feel really alone. They feel like they're the only ones in their building, or maybe there's one or two other people that feel the same about the union, and they feel trapped and they feel isolated and helpless. So when I speak to teachers, they are absolutely thrilled and so happy that there are like-minded teachers that feel the same way and that they're not alone. I just feel like people need all of the information to make the best decisions for themselves, regardless of what that decision is. Whether they want to stay in the union or they want to leave the union, it should be their decision, and they shouldn't have information that is being withheld. That's really what drives me to do these kinds of things and speak to people and reach out to teachers. And it's rewarding to me when they say to me, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I had no idea that this was out there. I had no idea that it was this easy, and I had no idea that I wasn't the only one. And there's a community that's forming. If people have that information and they know where their union dues are going, and they know the organizations that the NEA is giving to, and they're happy with it, great, more power to them. And that's, good for them. I'm rah union, But if they're not, and they aren't happy with that information, and they do want to make a change, then they should have access to that information, and they should be able to make the best decision for themselves without fearing any kind of harassment or backlash over it.